This happened in September of 2022, and at the time I lived in Wisconsin. I was also a
When was the video
sophomore in high
posted?
school.
5 hours ago.
I met a 17-year-old named Austin at my summer job. He used to attend the same high school as me,
Now, I'm gonna read the title. 4 scary online dating horror stories.
but had been expelled for plagiarism. That's what he told me, and I didn't question it. You can be thrown out of a university for plagiarizing someone else's work, but high school would put you into detention at worst, leading me to believe that he was kicked out for a different reason. We became friendly, and he would pick me up and drop me off during the summer whenever we had work, because I didn't have a driver's license at the time. I also want to point out that it was pretty obvious that he had a crush on me, but I didn't feel the same way about him.
Let's stop. Let me stop you right there. So you know he likes you, but you don't feel the same way. So you should say that instead of leading him on. If he does something to you, I do not feel sorry. That's probably a little bit extreme, but I'm gonna listen to the rest of what you say. But if you do not tell him that you do not fuck with him, you are a bitch. Because he's thinking, oh, I'm finna get some. She gonna like me because I'm giving her rides every day. But you better get your broke ass a car. First off. Tired of you hoes.
To clarify, he insisted on giving me a ride, and I even offered to give him money to cover gas.
Okay. Let me backtrack a little. Okay. So I take back most of what I said, but you still should tell him that you don't fuck with him.
I was not leading him on in any way.
I don't believe that.
Fast forward to the second or third week of school. Austin and I were driving home from a party that a mutual friend from school was throwing.
I like how she just shut down everything that I said. That's pretty funny. Oh my god. Okay, let me continue.
Again, I needed a ride. When Austin pulled up to my house to drop me off, he finally popped the question. Hey, listen, I think you and I should go out sometime.
Why was that only in 1 year? What the fuck?
I'm sorry, Austin. I just don't have those kind of feelings for you. I would prefer if we stayed friends. I could tell that my response really upset him. Looking back, I can see how he may have gotten the wrong idea. Please try not...
Exactly. You see? You're giving a girl rides to work every single day, and you expect him not to think anything?
to judge me too harshly. The only excuse I had was that I was only a teenager back then. We waved goodbye to each other, and I went inside my house, took off my shoes, changed into my pajamas, brushed my teeth, and was ready to call it a night. Before I fell asleep, I got a text from a friend. What I read on screen is something I'll never forget.
He did something to himself.
It was a paragraph-long message about how Austin had been secretly taking photos of me while I was sleeping in my bed, through my window. While that revelation was still sinking in, several photos of me sleeping came through. Apparently, Austin had been bragging about it at the party, and even showed off his collection, which found their way back to me. When you're hit with...
How did she get... Oh, by showing off his collection, he was probably sending them to people, not just...
news like that, you feel cold. I knew that Austin had a thing for me, but I didn't think it would ever be something this twisted. On top of that, I was literally in the exact spot of where the photos were taken. The first thing I did was check my window and close my blinds. I then immediately sent him a text in all caps. Never contact me again. He seemed to know right away why I said that to him, and quickly began to apologize and started playing the victim card. I felt like screaming after reading his pathetic texts, and then...
That's a little much.
Told him.
I'm joking. And then I'd freak out if somebody was looking through my windows, but at the same time, I'm not dumb enough to sleep with my blinds open.
Lose my number and never speak to me again. Then I blocked him. I wasn't feeling tired anymore, and I got up to take some melatonin so I could fall asleep.
You gonna
I don't know how long I was
how you gonna put yourself to sleep knowing you could be in danger? You got a stalker.
out for, but I woke up to the sound of my window shattering.
Exactly. And what if you took one too many melatonins and you was in deep sleep and you ain't hear that? You could have woke up in Mexico. Damn.
I sat up in bed to see a dark figure stepping through. I quickly got out of bed and ran toward the door. The figure moved to catch me, but slipped on a piece of broken glass and fell to the floor. When I looked back, I could see that the intruder was in fact Austin, and that he also had a knife in his hand. I started to scream hysterically. My dad quickly came out into the hallway, asking me what the hell was going on. All I could do was point to my bedroom door. When he rushed inside, Austin was gone.
I thought he
After
smashed
I
the
told
window.
my
How's
father
it
who
intact there?
was, he immediately called the police, and they arrived 10 minutes later, along with the paramedics. I didn't know it at first, but when I rushed out of my bedroom, my feet were cut on the broken glass.
What broken
I
glass?
had lost a lot of blood.
I just saw
I
your
was
window.
now
It was
feeling
completely
dizzy.
fine.
After I told the police my side of the story, the paramedics ended up taking me to the hospital, where I stayed overnight. It took the cops a while to track down Austin, but they eventually arrested him. During his sentencing, he addressed the court and admitted that he didn't know why he did it, and also expressed that he was in love with me. Austin was convicted of multiple felony charges. The prosecutor was able to uncover more evidence that proved he intended to kill me, so the final verdict was breaking and entering and attempted first-degree murder. A year later, he successfully appealed the murder charge.
I could tell y'all exactly. Ooh, appealed the murder charge. That makes sense. But I could tell y'all exactly why he did that. So he probably making a story up in his head, like to the girl. You know, I don't think she being honest. I think she meant to lead him on. And you know what? Sometimes people do that. That's not horrible. It's fucked up, but it's not horrible. So what I'm thinking is like it was something completely else to do. He thinking, oh, I'm getting so far ahead. And in his head he's building like a love story almost. And so when he rejects her, or when she rejects him, sorry, that just kind of shattered his whole world that he's been building for. How long did he say? Did she say months? That he was giving her a ride back and forth to work, doing all that, and she just saw it as a ride. She might have been trying to lead him on. We don't know. We don't care. But it was causing him dude to like make a story in his head. And once he shut that story down, now he mad, but that story's still in his head that they're in love. So he might have an emotional crash out.
I don't know.
I ain't a psychologist, so don't take my word for it. And also, I'm not blaming her. She ain't it. I am not gonna say she ain't do nothing wrong, but this definitely his fault. You know, there is no he should not have tried to do none of that. He should have took that shit on the chin like a man.
All the details, but his mental health and lack of criminal record before that night played a major factor. Austin is currently serving a 16-year prison sentence. Although justice has been served, I still get very skittish whenever I meet new people, especially men. I know I sound crazy, but I still have a lot of PTSD over what happened that night. I hope Austin goes to hell for what he did.
Damn. That's a little much, don't you think? I'm kidding. But that's crazy. That's actually really sad that she had to go through that. I did not know you could get PTSD from like one incident. I thought that had to happen over time. But like, you know, war, seeing people die, you know, living in a bad area. But like one incident, I'm not fucking discrediting her story or her trauma. But I just say no, you could get it from one thing. Alright, let's continue.
I hope Austin goes to hell for what he did.
Yeah, fuck Austin.